Hello everyone, Lord Croc Squirrel here, with the lovely Kitty.
Hello, everybody.
Yep, we're gonna do a short series of videos here, a few bits of this and that to be uploaded every so often. Might be one or two on a day for the next while and a half. As you all know, the Platinum Poo Awards are on the way, and we needed to get some of this stuff out. At least some kind of coverage of it up on the channel to make sure that the deserving get what they deserve. So, this is Wooden House. And what could be better than a fine day closer to nature? Small village house outside of the city noises and stress. Reading a book next to the fireplace. One night, strange voices started to come from beneath the house. Our hero discovers a mysterious book. Once opened, releasing the ancient evil. Well, we're going to see about the ancient evil. The user reviews for this are mostly negative, and you will soon see why. It is, in fact, a walking simulator, and it's not very well done. Okay, our buddy G Nomad, he's got a couple of them on the list for the next while and a half, and we are going to see what happens. Now, it has some game features. All the stuff right here. The sounds work. The rest of it never happened. Did not go on. Okay. These recommended specs? Nah, not so much. I will tell you now that that my computer, my really nice big rig over here, well and truly exceeds these recommended specs. They want 4 gigs of RAM, a quad core, Intel or AMD CPU, DirectX 9.0C compatible NVIDIA or AMD / ATI card with a gig of RAM. I have over there an 8 core, it's a 4 core, it's a threaded 4 core i7 6700 under the hood here, running at 4 gigahertz without being overclocked. 16 gigabytes of RAM and a 6 gigabyte 1060 card. It didn't touch half ever, and we still got the following results with XSplit running. We did actually look at it with XSplit off a little while ago, and it went considerably better. Still not sure why that is. Maybe because it hates XSplit. But an attempt to operate it with Shadowplay failed miserably. No video was recorded despite the fact that we asked it to do that. So, any comments before we get started here, Kete?
Yeah, I just found it odd that we were unable to record the footage that we tried to get from the second round because it actually manages to get the proper frame rate. But either way, let's go see the game.
All right. Time to see the ultimate crime. Okay. All right. As you can see, we have my friend VLC Media Player, and we're gonna go right back to the beginning. People will forget what the soul. I have no idea what word is missing there. He will know the fear, and he will try with all his power to escape from his own nightmare. Press spacebar to continue. And then we have the main menu, and please note that the main menu does not include options anywhere, but they gave us an about, and we could actually look at the controls if we wanted to. And here is where it's actually not being particularly responsive. I clicked the begin button and it didn't work immediately. Here's our loading screen. As you can see, I got a whole 20 odd frames a second this way, down to 8. I'm not even going to comment on the English in this game. It's just there's no point. Now already the frame rate is pretty poor, but at least it's serviceable at the moment. We're doing probably between 12 and 17 frames a second. How there is cold and gloomily. Yep. That note actually does have something on it, but if you're if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to do the next one here. Yes, that's right. The doorknob is wired to the doorbell, and you have to click twice. Down the stair, gonna float down the stairs here because, well, it would be too difficult to do anything else. And this door will open. Why? I don't know. Because the keys are supposed to be down here. I don't recall finding them, but they're down here, according to what that said upstairs. Interactable things? Pretty much none. Oh. And at this point, we're doing about 5 frames a second. It will not get better. We need fuel to get to deal with the generator. But we're going to go look around and see what we've got going on here. You are welcome to comment at any time, Kid. I'm just rambling at this point.
Okay.
I have almost nothing to say at this point. It's just this bad. No, that cabinet did not open. Despite the fact that it's actually a different color and texture quality than anything else around here. Please note, we have this light over the thing. Okay, but the light overhead isn't working. Those drawers do not open.
Yeah,
Like at
and
all.
the lights are working, but the generator is off.
Wait for it. Trust me, wait for it. You're gonna when the generator kicks on, yeah, you're gonna see. Okay. Again, not opening. Okay. Also note that
I'm not sure what this closet is doing. It is there for no reason other than what happens later.
it doesn't even have a reason then, if we're being honest. It doesn't. It has no reason to exist.
No,
Except
not
as,
really.
well, to be perfectly honest, it's jump scare bait. And that's what this game is actually relying on to make you scared. And unfortunately,
No,
it doesn't work. It's just
no.
funny.
This kind of jump scare it doesn't work.
In Chapter 2, because we're only going to do Chapter 1 footage this time, but in Chapter 2, there's actually an area right near the door to the basement where there's a bunch of cockroaches. You'll scatter, and they shuffle at the same volume level as the generator fires up. It's almost impossible to hear yourself think. They run away, they just scatter, and it's hilarious just how bad that is. Those cockroaches were most certainly shuffling too loudly. I think is I've still got my headset on, the volume up, so that you guys can hear it. Anybody
Yeah,
remember that?
I saw that part when we did without the XSplit running.
Yeah. Now, this power box here, I don't actually spend a lot of time on it this time around. I tried to later, but it's very badly faceted. The corners are all whack, and all of the material on it there, all the little raised bits you saw, yeah, those are all texture based. Those things are not modeled in. Okay. Now, if you come back here before you start the game, or before you go down to the basement and try the switch, that fuel can will not be here. It appears out of freaking nowhere. These fuel cans may come in handy. Well, okay. It said that the last time when the actual can that you need to take downstairs, it wasn't here. That door there does the
Yeah,
same thing as the front door, which I found funny.
there's a person in the window. No,
Nope,
no.
there's not actually anybody in the
We
house.
we came here on the second round, and this hand wasn't there.
Yeah, and then we come back. We came back after we hit the switch to find out we needed fuel, and there was fuel. And there's another look at
Yeah.
that thing. I didn't even pay all that much attention to it this time during this particular filming session. I was actually doing this one while somebody else was offline.
Uh huh.
But yeah, I'm still looking around to see where any of this stuff even is. Okay, and now you can see where it's actually markedly slower. We're actually down to 3 frames a second at this point. Three. I don't know where that noise came from, but it was just there, and we didn't get it the second time through XSplit. It's kind of unfortunate actually because the other footage was actually better, and we got to see what happens when you press F on a bottle of wine. Someone actually went to the trouble of putting those sound effects together, and it really sounded like they were doing something ridiculous. Um, Slurping on the bottle. Okay. Now I'm looking for a place to put the fuel in the generator, and that's not actually working at all. Note, please, that the door on that closet is still closed. Okay. I have not accomplished anything at this point. Oh, look over there. The cabinet's open. And
Yeah.
not only that, it sounded like a jet engine starting up, it then the sound then slowly fades away to nada. Just be glad we're not listening to this at full volume. Okay, so now that this thing is open, where's the key? Nowhere. The door is simply open. And I'm going to spend the next few minutes wandering around down here, wondering what the hell's up with this damned key before I finally go upstairs and decide to actually check the freaking front door. Because apparently firing up that generator, that's actually just a way to. That's actually what a key is this week. No idea why. And yes, folks, this is as fast as we go. I did this entire section in sprint mode.
There's a ghost face on the door of the cabinet.
I haven't seen one. Oh, there is. It's a ghostly looking face. That's just some sort of.
How scary!
Actually, I'm fairly certain I'm almost certain that's pareidolia on our parts. But yeah, that might be
Well,
intentional.
from my part, I don't. Maybe because reasons,
Yeah, well,
time zones, but I think it's intentional. I don't think I'm seeing stuff.
either that or he selected an asset that already had something like that. I'm not sure. This is like baby's first attempt at horror game.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, by the way, this was as painfully slow to play as it is to watch. Okay. Trying to play this game is like trying to survive an airline crash. It's just you have no idea what's going on. You're you've gone beyond the point where anything would even remotely scare you because you already know this thing is going to kill you, and you're just wondering when it's all going to be over. Now I shut it down. That didn't do me any good. All it did was turn things back out the way they were when I walked in.
The thing is,
Hang
it's
on a
not
second, Kitty.
bad because
Okay, now go ahead. That
the
sound
thing is,
is
mm, it's not bad because of the frame rate that you got here for this footage. It's bad because it's bad.
yeah. It's like that. I expected that there is actually a picture of the developer. They're supposed to be a two-man team, or one, just one or two guys. And I'm not surprised that we actually
Maybe,
got something this badly optimized, or unwilling to play nice. But at the same
yeah, look
time,
at the size of the hammer and the size of the picture.
that's yeah, and it really doesn't get a lot better. I mean, the next section took me even longer to finish than this one. Okay, there.
Because,
I've seen to
yeah,
date two save points. One at the end, one's the beginning of chapter 2, and one at the beginning of chapter 4, which should tell you something.
because when we played this at 60 frames uh, per second, it didn't get any better. The game itself.
Well, the textures are kind of meh in a lot of spots, but the best parts of the textures are the parts like this, where they've probably gotten their hands on an asset. And you see now his head moves up and down as if he's actually climbing stairs. But when you go down, it's not properly animated. It's like he's just kind of floating right above.
Yeah,
By the way, that gate over there does not work under any circumstances. Okay. Part of why I didn't know that there was anything on that note to begin with was because the frame rate's so slow that clicking on it doesn't always do any good. I mean, the refresh on it was just absolutely horrid. Okay. Now, please note, I'm not going to touch the doorbell here. We're almost done. And now the door is open. How about that? But the doorbell still went off. Okay.
and we still didn't find the key.
No key has been located. It's completely dark in here and shouldn't be because we turned the thing on downstairs. We don't even know what the thing was. Okay. And that's it for the footage. So the game itself was painful to play, regardless of which one it was. Um, Whether it was on XSplit or without. Although, admittedly, it was more painful when I was trying to operate the damn thing at 3 frames per second. It's, yeah, it just hurts. And with the amount of power I've got hanging around under here, there is no reason that this should be the problem. More than enough RAM to do all of that crap, and we still don't have anything. The customer reviews on this are mostly negative, and that's based strictly on the Steam purchasers. Okay. Now, most of the people that have copies of this game got it by way of keys, and the most helpful all the way around seem to be the ones that are negative. I know a couple people that actually own this game, and I feel badly for them. I really do. 32% of 30. What? Oh, 32. Less than a third of the user reviews for it are positive, and that's taking into account just the Steam purchases. Okay. Woodhouse is an interesting game with a great look, yet simple puzzles and bad English. Okay. And yes, the English in this game is definitely worth a laugh. It's not worth 74 cents for that laugh, but if you can get it for a dime, I'd go for it. But yeah, would I recommend this game? Hell no. I might recommend it for a platinum poo, but I wouldn't recommend anybody buy this. In fact, even if they offer you a key, don't take it. It's really not worth it. That's my opinion. How about you, Kete? What do you think?
I wouldn't play it. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
I already had to endure three playthroughs of this, and that's enough.
so yeah. We've actually gotten all the way through to chapter 3. We've gotten through chapter 3 at this point, and starting chapter 4, and that's wrong. It is frankly wrong. We need to not do this. This particular developer's had more than half a dozen, or has had a half a dozen games in the last 18 months. He needs to be taking a little bit more time with them, I think, because this is just not great. All right. So with that, I will wander away, and we will see you for the next video and or Squirrel Play Live, whichever comes first. All right. You guys have fun, and don't think this is going to be fun unless you like torturing yourself. If your name is Triton, then by all means go ahead, knock yourself out. If it's not, then you might want to think again. All right, guys.
Okay,
All right, minions.
let's make games fun again.
Absolutely. Just avoid this, please.